Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Neeks Sports. And these two people have been very, very busy in this transfer market. And this guy, Edouard Mendy, is on his way to Chelsea, on his way to Stamford Bridge from Rennes. £20 million is the reported fee. I mean, they've been busy. They have been very, very busy, very efficient. I wonder, is this on paper? Of course, it's only on paper, but is this the greatest transfer window in Premier League history? I'm here with Ramon. Ramsey, listen, Chelsea, they're strengthening up front. Werner, Ziyech, Havertz, they're strengthening defense. Chilwell, Thiago Silva. And now it looks like they're strengthening in the goalkeeper position. Is it a strengthening? Is he a better goalkeeper than what they've got at the club at the moment?
Absolutely no idea. Never seen him. I've seen him. I think I've seen him one game he's played really. So the reality is, I've got no idea. Seen some highlights. It looks decent, but I mean, highlights are only going to show you the best part of somebody, innit? So I don't know. I genuinely don't know if he's actually going to be better than Kepa. I have no idea. I mean, he may be better than Kepa. What as Kepa has already done so far in the Premier League, I don't think that's hard. But yeah, and I don't know what this means for Kepa because they spent 70 million bags on him. So what are they gonna just get?
I think like a 6-7 year contract. Maybe he's got 5 or 6 years left on
Yeah,
it. He signed 2 years ago.
Caballero signed a new deal in the summer. So does that mean one of them are gonna go? Or are they gonna have 3 goalkeepers? Are they gonna? Yeah, like I don't know what that means for that. But he's obviously the fact is Kepa's had a bad season and he's doing something about it. Maybe he's putting pressure on. Maybe he's putting pressure on Kepa. I don't know how much he's spending on this guy, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere.
About 20 million. Between 15 and 18, between 15 and 20 million, I think.
And listen, if they're only spending 20 million, he might be a backup 20 mil. He might, considering they spent 70 mil on their main goalkeeper. So you never know. Like he might be there to push Kepa to be better. But yeah, whether he is or not, he's definitely going to be. It's definitely going to be. It's definitely going to try and improve him. The only problem is now get them all to know each other and play together. He's flying in to do a medical. Got Thiago at the back, a new face there. Chilwell at the back, a new face there. The whole defense structure is probably going to change. So, you know, if Declan Rice comes in, does he go into the back line? Is he going to be in the DM? So there's going to be a lot of changes, man. There's going to be a lot of changes at Chelsea. It's just whether they can all gel together by the end of the season.
This is it because obviously you can make all these changes, but it's not guaranteed to work out, and it can create its own. You know, looking on the outside. What the hell? Sorry, I just saw the comment. Anyway, looking on the outside, I'm thinking, yeah, it's a great transfer window. People are saying, some Chelsea fans are saying title. Javan said title. I've heard a couple on the football terrace. They're saying title. I'm not sure what Anita's saying. I need to check that out because I'm gonna hold her to it. I'm definitely gonna hold her to it, whatever she says. But a lot of them are saying title, or at least title challenge. But there's no guarantee that when you sign that number of players, that it's all gonna gel completely. And as you said, I haven't seen much of Mendy. However, I've seen some stuff, and yeah, I mean, when you look at highlights, as you say, you're always gonna see the best. It's the highlights, not the low lights. But when you look at the low lights, you look at it like, is he actually an improvement? And you have to question, maybe he is there as backup, but to push Kepa. I remember when in David De Gea's first season, and this is going to be Kepa's third season in the Premier League. He's older than De Gea. I think he's older than De Gea was when we signed. We signed him when he was about 18 years old. I believe. I could be completely wrong with that. Completely wrong. No, it was about 18 years old because he's about 20, maybe 21, maybe 2021 anyway. But they're around the same age, or Kepa's slightly older. And we had Anders Lindegaard as our backup. And he wasn't good enough. He was a certified backup. But David De Gea was pretty poor for the first 6 months of his career. And he got dropped. I remember he got dropped. And then we brought in Lindegaard. And Lindegaard was okay, but you could see he wasn't certified. And it gave David De Gea a bit of a kick at the backside. And he came back in the side and then at one point became the best keeper in the world. I'm gonna bring in Javern, Jay right now. Listen, Chelsea, that's your team. They've brought in it's pretty much confirmed. I'm gonna. I need to delete this guy because this madness.
Mad.
Wait, what? What's going on?
I'll put you on the timeout. Data Sian Kid 07. I'll put you on the timeout because you're moving mad in the comments. It's not even Watershed, and I don't know who you are, and I'm not doing that. Whatever you tell me, I'm not doing what you just told me to do. Anyway, one timeout, we'll see in it. But yeah, Joanne, you're a Chelsea fan. Are you happy with this signing? You remember you were talking about Oblak. We've been talking about Onana. It's Mendy.
Onana.
That's not his name. Onana, that is not his name. His name is Mendy. He's coming to Chelsea. Are you happy with that signing?
Just wanted to say, Ramon with that trim, looking fresh.
Come on. There. There.
I haven't seen much of this Mendy that they're bringing in. I hope they know what they're doing with this signing. Obviously, I wanted Oblak. You heard I said it's either Oblak or nothing. But this is what it is. I think maybe he's back up and we get Oblak next season. So because they can't spend another 80 whatnot mil right now because the Havertz, everyone else that we've purchased. Maybe, like you did say, it could push Kepa, maybe make him better, knowing that there is some kind of backup and whoever we go to won't be as bad as he is. But we're all yet to see. Maybe Mendy will be first. We'll see what we're yet to see. We probably won't even get to see this team that has been put together for another, 2-3 weeks? Because there's a few injuries.
Oh, yeah.
So we won't be able to see nothing. Right now, we're going to go with the same team from last season, barring Timo. Everyone else is not going to play. So it's going to be a good few weeks before we get to see this team together.
In terms of the goalkeeper, some Chelsea fans, they're done. They're done with Kepa. They were like, ship him out now.
Nah, I don't think we should ship him out now. Everyone's reactionary and mad.
He wasn't bad. He was like, okay, this is your first year. Okay, we'll see. A few mistakes, you might kind of let it go. It's your first year. Year in the league. Second year, he was absolutely terrible. But surely, I'm not saying the first year gave him credit in the bank, but surely it was enough to say, you know what, at least give him another year to see. Because if he regains the form of the first year at least, you don't have to go and spend 70 million on a goalkeeper. Of course, Oblak's going to be better than him.
We shouldn't.
Is it the most important position? Of course, with the signing that you've done, maybe it's now the most important. I don't know. But I still think giving Kepa another year, for me, is the most sensible thing. And Ronald in the comments says he's back up. The plan A is for Kepa to regain his form like he did in the first season when he had third most clean sheets. And I think that's probably what it is. Caballero is not... Lampard doesn't see him as a solid number one goalkeeper for the whole season. So if Kepa's form is bad, can you rely on Caballero? Lampard says no. So you need someone who, I guess, can hold the fort down if Kepa is that bad, and then you go in the summer and get someone.
And that's personally what I believe. I think because it was not gone out and said, okay, you know what, we're gonna go and get, like I said, Oblak, like everyone's been linking us with. We've gone out and get Mendy. It's clearly backup. Like I said, I haven't seen much, so I can only say he's back up. Maybe he might be first team, but we have spent too much money on Kepa for him to be dashed away. And I'll give him a little bit more time, mainly because we're not all David De Gea's, but when David De Gea came, he did have a torrid time, and he ended up becoming really good. I'm not saying that Kepa could become really good. Who knows? He could. But we don't know. We can't just shut him out because this is the time when you need to give him that confidence boost. This person's coming, so it's going to give Kepa time to recover. Maybe his confidence down. Give him some rest. Maybe recalibrate, get back to that form, and maybe become better. Because you don't just drop 70 million on a player and not play them. He's clearly the scouting team clearly saw something. You know, it happens. Some
people
happen.
apparently he was scouted and suggested by Pepe Reina. So maybe this is maybe he's a little agent, you know, to help Liverpool by suggesting you lot get Kepa.
The thing is, Real Madrid were in for him, but right before we were about to sign him. Before because they were, because obviously the whole Courtois thing, and they were gonna go in for him, but obviously Courtois did what he did, and he is now at Real Madrid. So
the thing is, which I think this is one of the big issues with David De Gea at the time, and to be fair, still now to an extent, is the difference of Premier League football and La Liga in terms of how physical attackers and sometimes defenders, if it's on corners, will be to goalkeepers that you don't really get in La Liga, the amount of crosses that go in, etc. And David De Gea 100% struggled with that when he first came. He was skinny. He didn't command his area. I mean, he still struggles to command his area when you compare to people like Oblak, like Alisson, like Manuel Neuer. I think he's probably the best example of it. David De Gea still doesn't do that. So Real Madrid could have signed Kepa and he may have looked better because they're not having to deal with the same pressures. But in the Premier League, Kepa has to change something about him. He can't be the same. Like he can't just be like, you know what, it's a bit of mental. I'll come back again. He needs to change his game where he's actually commanding the area, and he hasn't done that in the last 2 years or the 2 years that he's been there. We'll see if between him and the goalkeeping coach, etc., are gonna develop that part of his game. If not, he's gonna continue to struggle. David De Gea, his attributes has been, you know, his reflexes, his shot stopping ability, and his ability to really save with all parts of his body. But the command of the area, he still hasn't. And he's been in the Premier League for 9 years. This will be his 9th season, I think it was something like that. So, and he still hasn't developed that part of his game. And Kepa needs to do that if he's going to be worth the 70 million that Chelsea paid for.
I mean, only time will tell, really. But I really do hope that Kepa finds that form back, and then, you know, trots on to be what he got bought to be. Only time will tell.
No, you do not. You've been screaming Oblak's name all summer. You don't care about Kepa.
Yeah, but we don't have Oblak, so we don't have him.
Oblak.
But
all this, I hope. No, you don't. You want Oblak. You want Kepa out. You want Kepa out. You want Oblak in. When he flops this season, I'm going to remind you, say, remember you told me, yeah? Remember you told me I want him to succeed and I want him to succeed.
But that's the thing. I want him to succeed. But if he doesn't, then yes, he's out. Like, he's out. That's what I'm saying here. I want Oblak, but we're not going to get him. So it's Kepa and this Mendy kid. So I hope, for Kepa's sake, that he does well this season, because we must go out and get Oblak next season if he doesn't.
Well, put it like this. So go.
It'll be too much time. I can't give you any more time.
The other thing I was going to say was, remember when Cech came to Chelsea, and he came from Rennes as well, I think, innit? Came from Rennes. He went to Rennes first, and he went Chelsea. And then at the time, Carlo Cudicini was the number one. And he got injured in pre-season. Okay. Cech came in, got a clean sheet against Man United. In his debut, and that was it, and then gone.
Well, the thing is, the Cudicini injury was circumstantial because Cech was brought in to be the number one. Like, Cudicini was already there, and he was a decent keeper. But if I'm correct, it wasn't even Jose who bought him; it was Ranieri who started the deal.
Yeah, they bid the season before. Yeah.
So between Ranieri and whoever the sporting director was at the time, maybe Abramovich, whatever, said this is the guy who's going to be, you know, he's going to, you know, Czech Republic number one. He's going to be the one to take us. I think the Cudicini thing was incidental and kind of eased Cech in, and then no uproar, I guess, when Cudicini was never brought back because he was that good. Yeah. But I think Cech was brought in to be number one. Mendy is 28 years old. Is he brought in to be number one? I guess that's the big question. Is he brought in to be? I guess we don't know until Lampard says, or we see the first game of the season, because both of them are fit. Both of them, I say first game of the season. No, Mendy's not going to be here on time because
he's flying in tomorrow. But they play on Monday, don't they? Chelsea play on Monday.
Okay.
But then again, you need a bit, and you might need a training session.
I doubt he's going to play the first game.
Yeah. He's already played. He's already played in League One this season already, hasn't he? He's played a game, so.
Okay.
He's match fit, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But riding on to that, talking about Chelsea's signings, we know that they're turning their attentions. Chelsea just every time one signing, all right, next. Literally, you lot have signed Ziyech, obviously that was before the season finished. Timo Werner, I mean, also before the season finished. Kai Havertz, Thiago Silva, Mangalan Sarr, I think that's his name. But obviously he's going to go out on loan. Ben Chilwell, Edouard Mendy, and now they're looking at Declan Rice. And if they sign Declan Rice this summer, now West Ham are quoting around between 70 and 80 million pounds for as their price. In reality, they don't want to sell him. So they're saying, well, we don't want to sell him, like Leicester did with Maguire. But if you give us this, it's something we can't turn down.
No.
Chelsea don't want to pay that. They don't want to pay 70, 80 million pounds. I think they want
the thing is, he came from us. He came from our youth team.
Well, obviously your system wasn't as
he wasn't good enough,
as seamless as it is now, where you players like Salah, like like Kevin De Bruyne, Romelu Lukaku, who all tried to buy back Lukaku, and we've seen how Salah and De Bruyne have developed, and Declan Rice, who he has developed at West Ham. I think 50 million is probably realistic for Chelsea this summer. And that means...
Listen, if we actually spent 80 million...
One second. That means if you spend 50 million on him, you would have spent nigh on 290
football manager money.
300 million. Basically 300 million pounds this summer on transfers. What the hell? What? Is it 10 players? That's a whole team. What the hell?
I've been telling you, man, from before. The team is crap. The team is awful. No, it is. It is.
It can't be that bad.
Listen, the players have been crap for so long. Listen, it's been crap. And Roman sees it, and he has all the money now, and he's like doubling down. Financial fair play's been relaxed. Let's go. And he has done it. He has done it. Whether they'll all gel this season, we'll yet to see. But he has done it, and I'm happy for that. There's too much deadwood there. They just weren't good enough anymore. Listen, when we actually sit down and look at the team, Pedro, Willian, Giroud, Tammy, come on, Barkley, Drinkwater. Like the only world-class player in that team was Kante. Everyone else would just. No, the team was horrible. It was bad, and it's been bad for a while. It's needed this injection.
Can I just say though, like there's no such thing as we'll see if this team gels. You spent 300 million; they have to gel. When I say we'll see, I mean how long it will take. We don't know. No,
but
it has to
they
start
have
now.
to gel.
300 million pounds. Today, you need to beat Brighton on Monday and go from there.
Here we go again.
Then it's Liverpool. No, you have to.
You spent 300 million.
No. You don't spend 300 million saying we'll see what happens. You spend and let's go.
You're taking this out of hand. You spend just because you spend. It's not 300 million on one player. It's 300 million on 10 players.
Even if you hadn't spent 300 million, you still should be beating Brighton on Monday.
No, I hear that. No, but you have an agenda here, and it's ridiculous. You spent 300. You say we spent 300 million. We should go out and win. Of course, we should go out and win. But come on, just because you spent 300 million on different players, it's a whole new squad.
Let's say you got them all for free. They are still top quality players. That's the bottom line. Because if you spent 300 million on Josh King, Callum Wilson, I don't know.
Then there's a problem.
People would just say, you got robbed. We don't expect you to be Liverpool. You got robbed. Yeah. You're an idiot. Why have you spent 300 million on all this? But the point really, forget even to put the money aside, you have brought in top quality players. Look at Thiago Silva, for example. If your defense is worse this year than it was last year, I'm not definitely gonna sit here and say, well, to be fair, Thiago Silva was free, so what did you expect? No, you bought him in.
Of course you're not gonna say that.
The contract was poor, but you expected him to improve your defense. I'm judging it based on the ability and the talent of the player rather than even the money that you spent as the first barometer. So you brought in Timo Werner, potentially world-class striker. Kai Havertz, world-class talent. Pulisic is already there. He's had a whole season on his belt. He's a world-class talent. Ziyech, who is a top-class player in terms of his ability. Chilwell, really proven. Thiago Silva, world-class proven. I don't know if he can say that now, but I mean, just got to a Champions League final. That is 5 to 6 potentially world-class players.
And that is what we needed. We need a whole change in the team because everyone is crap.
So it must gel.
So the problem is,
Erhan Aksu says Lampard to be sacked by December. It has to gel.
Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Cause we've seen people sign 10 players or spend this much amount of money and bring in bare people, and whenever it's happened, it's all gone horribly wrong. For example, Tottenham, when they sold Bale, they bought in all these man. Fulham, they bought in all these man and went down anyway. So everyone is just going by seeing that and thinking, oh crap, it ain't gonna work, it's not gonna gel, it's all gonna go down the pan. That's what everyone is basing it off by, and they're gonna be like, oh, Lampard's gonna get sacked because he's not gonna get results, etc., etc. So that's what everyone. It's you know, it's how the world works. When there's when they don't know the unknown, they don't know what to do. But because this is not unknown in terms of they've seen it happen, they're gonna think that's what's gonna happen here. I don't want that to happen here. And the difference between all those players that those people bought to what we bought is quality. So I expect there to be a different level, and I expect there to be a better showing, and I don't expect for it to be like how it went with Tottenham or Fulham. But everyone else is thinking that because they're comparing it to a team that spent this much and bought in this much. So they think that's what they think that's what's going to go wrong.
I expected Fulham to stay up. I expected Villa to stay up. They both spent 100 odd million. I expected Everton to do better when they did it as well under Koeman. And I expect Chelsea to do better because I believe that the players that they've bought have been scouted well. I think they're quality players, and I think they'll improve your team. We were 4th last year, joint 3rd in terms of points. I think you have to do better. I think even if you didn't, the players like Mount, like Tammy Abraham, for example, they should all be better anyway a year on. Reece James should be better a year on. The fact that you've not added to that, I expect you to do better. But I don't want to dwell on it. We spoke about it much on the podcast as well. Looking forward to the games this week. So we've got Fulham versus Arsenal, 12:30 tomorrow. Ramsey, listen, I mean, I heard you lot got 8 defenders in total and like 5 of them are injured. Like, well, you might as well just not sign anyone, and because it doesn't make a difference. You always have the same amount of defenders in the end. What
yeah. The thing is, we got 3. Saliba, Holden, and Gabriel. Holden obviously was supposed to go out on loan. He's now staying at Arsenal for at least to the end of the window just to cover this period, and potentially maybe longer, depending on who goes. But also we got Tierney, and the way that Arteta's been playing is that Tierney's been playing as the 3rd centre back and a 3 at the back. So I wouldn't be surprised if we still go with the 3 and just have one of them, probably Gabriel, because he's not been here as long as the others, on the bench. So even though we got 8, and Arteta said the balance is wrong right now. He said it in his conference. The balance is very wrong. So obviously he's trying to get rid of some, but these injuries are trying to stall it. You know, Socrates, why are you getting injured for? And just go, man. Just get gone, man. I think he wants to get the balance right, but yeah, if they're not fit, people won't even buy them. So it's all about just trying to get through this period, and it'll be interesting to see how many stay till January and how many stay to the end of the season. So as I said, but I'm not even mad like to have Holden, Saliba, and Gabriel and Tierney for the first games against Fulham and West Ham. You know, that shouldn't be crisis talk. We shouldn't be complaining that we had injuries on that game. You know what I mean? We should still be able to win those games. And then it's about can we now carry on the form of the FA Cup and the Community Shield into the season and go from there, because Liverpool and Man City to come after that. So we need to start very, very strong, as I said before.
Another big game this week. So that's Fulham Arsenal. So you say you're expecting a win there?
Yeah, I think we'll win that. I think we'll win that 2-0. I think.
Brighton v Chelsea. I guess we said that we're expecting a win, regardless of exactly how many your new signings play. I think that's. I'm not saying it's a given because Brighton are no mugs, but yeah. I guess you expect to go to Brighton and win the first game of the season.
Yeah, expect. Bloody well should.
That's fair enough.
I've just heard in the last hour or so that Brighton have just made a bid for Emiliano Martinez, our number 2 goalkeeper, who looked like he was going to go Aston Villa, but Brighton sold their backup goalkeeper Button, and now they've just made a bid for Martinez. So yeah, he may be at Brighton very soon.
Okay. Wait, but who they got there? Matt Ryan.
They got Matt Ryan, I guess, as their number 1.
No, Martinez ain't going to Brighton to be number 2.
Exactly. So
a good keeper.
Yeah, and so he'll definitely be getting. Obviously, Villa have been searching for a keeper. I mean, Heaton's been injured, hasn't really come back in. They bid it for Sergio Romero, I think, as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Pepe Reina last year, didn't they?
Yeah, he's gone back. He's gone back to Italy, I think. So yeah, they made a bid for Sergio Romero. I don't think that.
Yes, I heard about that. I think apparently Leeds were. So how old is Emiliano Martinez?
I don't know, late 20s, I think.
Okay, 28. Okay, yeah. I guess he wants to start now. It's 2. He can't.
Yeah, I think his aim is to get into the Argentina squad. I think Romero's still number 1, isn't it?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, so I think if Martinez gets a run of games like throughout a season, he's well within a chance to take. And
when's Copa America next year, isn't it?
Yeah, next year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess he'll be aiming. Everyone's aiming for starting the Euros, Copa America. Fixture, we've got Tottenham versus Everton. I think that's going to be a very interesting match. Mourinho came out today saying, I want a striker. I need a striker. And I'm telling you this, but I've already told the people above me, I want a striker. And they also want a striker. They've been talking about Milic, for the Polish striker from Napoli. Didn't have a great season. Only scored about 11 goals in the league. The season before, he scored 17. We know a bit about him. We've seen him at, different international tournaments and, in domestic in terms of European football as well. Of course, he will come in as a backup to Harry Kane. Do you think do you think it's crucial that Spurs get a backup for Harry Kane? In the past, I've had the likes of Llorente, Soldado, Vincent Janssen, but it seems to always just not be the right guy or it hasn't worked out. Do they need to get a striker, number 9, to replace or to support Harry Kane?
Yeah, see, Tottenham have a tough one. When you have a striker as good as Harry Kane, you need to bring in. You can't bring in one at the same level because then you didn't have to make them both play, and no one really plays with 2 strikers anymore. So yeah, Tottenham they do need a second striker. Boy, yeah, man, it's going to be a tough one. That's a tough one. Who's even available for Spurs? But when I say who's available for Spurs, what striker can they even get right now?
What was I saying? Milic from Napoli looks like apparently that's the one they're going to get. But if you bring him in, he's purely backup. And obviously, we know Harry Kane usually has an injury. So either Jose's going to rotate him a bit more to ensure that he doesn't get injured, or when he does get injured, you have someone who can go straight through the middle and you don't have to then move Son into the middle, which he's done, but I think he's more effective out wide. There's just a comment here from Javier.
I think
maybe Spurs, that would have been a very good purchase.
But does he want to go back to backup?
Well, the thing is, I think Spurs needs to get rid of this whole backup thing because Spurs need a striker. Forget backup. Forget whether they need a striker. Kane is not going to be fit for a season, so they need a striker. Whether you call it a backup, whether it's someone to come on and at 70 minutes, whether it's someone to maybe start up top with Kane and say, look, we'll start you together, we'll play you in behind him or out wide, and you can go. They need an attacking player, and they need to stop going with the mindset of we need a backup, because if you go with that, you're never going to get anyone, or you'll get someone who you won't really want. There's people talking about Troy Deeney. If you sign Troy Deeney, that's not for me. That's not. You're not getting anything from there. You're like, what to do? What you need a player in place that is going to be ready to say, I want to fight for a spot in the starting lineup. whether it's instead of Kane, whether it's next to him, behind him. Like I want to play in the first team and not just. I don't want to just come on. I don't want to be a backup. I want to be. And plus, as I said, Kane will get his injury. The fixtures are mad for Spurs. They got They got Premier League, Europa League, Premier League, Europa League, Carling Cup, and Europa League in the same week if they get through, and then Premier League again. So they need. And then, as I said, Europa League is for me. Europa League is a chance where you get someone to try and push games. If they don't have a striker by October, Harry Kane has to play in Europa League and the Premier League, and they can't be having that. They really can't be having that in this tough fixture season. So yeah, man, they just. And I don't know why all now Premier League starts tomorrow. They still ain't got one yet. That shows to me that, well, since the documentary, I know Levy now he will wait to get the biggest deal. But boy, I mean, time is ticking, man. Needs to hurry up.
Listen, we have to remember though, they have got a few players that didn't really perform last year, and so they were purchased on decent money. The likes of Ndombele, Lestelso, Jedson Fernandez, maybe Jedson, I can't remember now. And
that kid.
And
I
Bergwijn.
haven't seen him play.
Yeah,
Jedson Fernandez.
They both came. Him and Bergwijn both came in January. Bergwijn's look decent, so he's going to have a full season now. And Ryan Sessegnon. So there's a few players there who still have to kind of come into the team, and they can contribute in attacking wise. We'll see Dele Alli how he does in his return. They've signed Matt Doherty and Pierre Højbjerg from Southampton. So there's, I think they
need a defender
in terms of a centre back, because Doherty's the defender. Doherty's a right
centre back. Sorry.
Okay.
I think he's getting all that for Eric Dyer to be the number one. Like him.
What's his fan with?
Him, Sanchez and Alvaro. I think
he was Dyer when he was at Man United and that talking about 50 million. Everyone's like, whoa. So maybe
what is it with him and this Dyer?
At centre back one time, I think. So maybe he really wanted a British blonde guy at centre back. I don't know, but yeah, in terms of that fixture, Spurs versus Everton. Everton themselves, they have made a number of signings. Allen, Decore, James Rodriguez, those are the three big signings. Could be the three only, but that's the three that I remember anyway, that they've come in. And maybe, I think all of them will probably go straight into the team. Like, what are you waiting for? You might as well just go put them in, considering that if they are all fit. It'll be interesting to see how he plays, because last season they went 4-4-2. That's Carlo Ancelotti. They went 4-4-2 with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up front. But James Rodriguez is a number 10, and that is it. That's his position. Don't even try and play him anywhere else. He will flop. I'm not going to lie. But number 10, he can succeed, which means that you're either going to have to play a diamond or you play a 4-2-3-1, which might move Richarlison out wide left and Walker or Bernard on the right wing with Calvert-Lewin up front. I don't know what his plans of Moise Kean is this season. I heard that Juventus actually want to sign Moise Kean on loan.
Yeah, they want him back.
And everyone's like, no, well, we paid 30 million for him. We're not loaning him out after 1 year. So it will be interesting to see exactly how Ancelotti sets up. But in terms of Everton, in terms of this game, or maybe not so this season, but this game, do you think they can get something? Where is the game? The game is at Tottenham. Spurs. You think they can get a win? Do you think they can gel these players in after a couple of training sessions and get a win at Spurs?
Boy, it's two decent teams going at it, Yeah, boy, that's a hard one to say. I would put Spurs over the line for that game, but boy, that's a tough one to call. It's a tough one to call because it's not like Everton's team ain't no joke from the lineup that they have, and Tottenham ain't no joke either. So it's a hard one to call. Obviously, I'll put Spurs just a bit more because it's Jose Mourinho. But I can't call it.
Carlo Ancelotti. Why isn't Carlo Ancelotti can't be? I'm not saying you're doing it, but can't be disregarded. Cannot.
And that's what I'm saying. You can't disregard it. So it's at the same time. It's like it's hard. I can't pick, and I'm just gonna pick Tottenham because I could say they're the bigger club. But that's purely it. That because apart from that, if we were to look at it side by side, it's hard to pick. They're both decent sides.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna go Spurs to edge it just because I feel like the squad is kind of gelled already. They've played a couple of preseason games. They kind of know where they're going with. Where Everton have literally just got these deals over the line. So as much as they could throw them into the starting lineup,
they probably won't even be in the starting lineup.
Yeah, not all of them, maybe one or two. And I just feel like I still feel like they lack a bit of firepower up front. Everton. I don't know, like Richarlison on his day is good, but on his off day he's bad.
I mean,
Calvert-Lewin had a poor end to the season.
They both got 13 goals last year, I think it was, in the league, which
They're-
isn't bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. I feel like maybe another winger. Listen, if you play Iwobi and Walcott, you're not really. I feel like you're losing a bit on that side. So I still feel like we need another something else. And Moise Kean ain't that guy. He just doesn't look. Maybe it's Everton. I don't know, but it just doesn't look right there personally. And I don't think defensively they had their problems last year as well. So I don't know how good they'll be.
Big one for me. I think defensively more than I agree. Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, none of them are like 20 goal a season, man. But I guess to be honest, when you're down there, middle of the table, you can't guarantee it. I mean, you say that. But there's Danny Ings, there's Jamie Vardy. He's not mid-table, I'm not gonna lie. But there's teams who haven't spent as much, or teams that are trying to push for European trophies. They have 20 goals a season in them. You know, you'll take Jimenez from Wolves over either Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison for goals any day of the week. So maybe they do need. They brought in Moise Kean, and he's supposed to be, the talent. Maybe they want him to be able to be that guy. He hasn't proved so far. But if you get more creativity from the midfield, and the likes of Sigurdsson, and I don't know, I can't remember who the other. Andre Gomez. Maybe they weren't. Now they got Decore, Allen, James. They can create more for those strikers. But yeah, I think defensively for me is the biggest concern because they haven't strengthened there. Yerry Mina, Michael Keane. Is Coleman still their right back? I don't know.
Coleman, Sidibe.
Okay, and then obviously they got Dino as the left back, which is solid. But Yerry Mina and Michael Keane ain't good. They're not good.
He's been playing Holgate towards the end of the season as well.
Well, and he's nothing special. Nothing special. So I think they do need another centre back. But they did spend decent money, 30 million, I think, on both Keane and Yerry Mina. So they've obviously invested in that. We'll see. They'll give them another year, but I think that could be their undoing, whether it's in this match or in future matches. Finally, we have Liverpool versus Leeds, the champions against the newly promoted
champions against champions.
Champions against champions. Champions against champions. Bielsa versus Klopp. Leeds versus Liverpool.
Liverpool will win that.
I mean, I want them both to lose personally, but I mean, I mean, draw. I'll take a draw. Take a good 3-3 draw. 3 goals for fantasy, but Liverpool's are conceding to show their fragilities. Yeah, I like that one. And maybe we can pick up some cheap Leeds players after they bang the champions. But yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting Leeds to do anything. I don't expect nothing. I don't expect nothing from these promoted sides. There was a time, and yeah, I can be wrong. When Wolves came up, you were like, that team was good. That team was solid. So I didn't expect them to go down, for example. But Sheffield came up, and I'm like, well, to hell with you lot. Like, what are you lot going to do? And they completely embarrassed me in that regard. But the Premier League and the Championship are big, big different levels that I think it would be wrong of me to expect that these players will come from the Championship and say, yeah, I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to do now in the Premier League. Now, of course, they've made some signings. Rodrigo, a couple of players from the continent. And we know Bielsa's he's got the tactics that he can adjust from game to game. But there's a lot of players there who played in the Championship last year, and they're going to have to make the step up. And I just don't know if they're going to do it. I don't know. And Liverpool's
I think it'll be interesting to watch. Definitely, Bielsa is very controversial as a character. He used to sign a new deal, so he's going to stay at least for the season. And I think it will be interesting to see the way they play because they're very sort of attacking. The fullbacks get forward quite a lot. and obviously they signed Rodrigo as well. So that may potentially give them goal threat up front. We saw him in Spain. He can score goals on his day. So it may just, that little bit of European experience may just help them over the line in terms of staying in the Premier League. But yeah, for me, Liverpool, I expect them to start strong. Again, they're a team that have to. They've got Chelsea, the giants of Chelsea next week. So it's for me, when you get these games, I always say at the start of the season, you've got to just get the 3 points and done. No matter how you get it. I know Trent's back for them, and he needs after what we saw 2 weeks ago, he needs to start straight away in that team. And obviously Liverpool.
What do you mean 2 weeks? What? Oh, in terms of the Community Shield?
The Community Shield, yeah, they were just attacking wise, it was just all Robertson. It was just crossing balls in, and no one was getting on the end of it. So yeah, they need Trent to come round the back on the other side, or be crossing him in for the other side just for that creativity. But yeah, I expect them to comfortably win. Start season against Leeds. Yeah. It'll be interesting, I think, for the lower teams as well, with no crowds. Usually that's a big thing when teams come up. Get the crowd behind them, everyone's excited. Like Sheffield United start of the season, they get in their wins because the crowd's just pushing them on. Do you know what I mean? Like getting them like, yeah, we're here, we're in the Premier League, you know what I mean? We're excited. Whereas like I'm looking at Arsenal Fulham tomorrow and I'm thinking no crowd just suits Arsenal perfectly. There's no one, you know what I mean? There's no excitement from the fans to push them on. It's like, all right, go and do your job. Same with Liverpool. Lee, just go and do your job. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much that takes effect on the new clubs that come up.
I don't know what happened. I was just trying something. I was just trying to update the description. It didn't seem to work. We have got a live season preview in the Football Dugout this evening at 8 p.m. on the Football Dugout channel. I'm trying to update the description. It's not updating. Actually, let me try it on YouTube itself. So you lot, what you can do is refresh the stream soon as it's finished, soon as we finish here, which we're about to finish this now. And you can head over to the Football Dugout, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification to make sure you get notified when we go live. We've got a bunch of esteemed panel, including Ramsey here as well. We've got Adam McCullough from formerly the Full-Time Devils, Stretford Paddock. We've got Bubbles from Gold Diggers Podcast, Lewis from Blues Fans TV. We have got Maya, Spurs fan, Leeds. What's the Leeds channel called again? I totally forgot. I can't remember. That is bad of me. I'll tell you, Leeds Therefore. That's it. Leeds Therefore podcast. Yannicka, Man City fan, and Anita from Gold Diggers as well. So it's a massive preview covering all the top 6 teams at least, and all the big 6, should I say. And then we've got the Leeds fans, so we'll deal with that, relegation, etc. And yeah, that's from 8 p.m. The description is updated now, so once we finish here, refresh the stream, go over there, subscribe, like, share, all of that. Make sure, and we will see you there at 8 o'clock. That's it from me, Jay, and Ramsey. Chelsea, they're looking to spend 300 million this summer alone. So it's going to be a lot of pressure on the players, a lot of pressure on Lampard to deliver. And I guess we're going to see very, very shortly as the season starts tomorrow if he can do so. Hit the like and subscribe button, guys, and we'll see you soon.